Hello, everybody. First off, before I begin, I want to say that I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, a happy, healthy, and safe Merry Christmas uh, at least, and are hopefully looking forward to the new year, 2024. Now, with that being said, let us begin. This video is where I'm going to be talking about my overall thoughts on Henry Cavill's performance as Superman. Um, The reason why I say that, because for those who do not know, for those of you who haven't been caught up to date with the comic book movie news, Henry Cavill is no longer going to be Superman, especially in James Gunn's DC Cinematic Universe. And, I also, you guys were wondering, wait, did he announce that he was back as Superman on his Facebook or Twitter page? Well, once James Gunn and Peter Safran got hired to be the heads of DC Studios, they approached Henry Cavill and they told him that they're going to be moving forward without him. Now, I know as messed up as that may sound, I think it was for the best, that considering that they wanted to be more faithful to the source material. Well, I blame more so the original heads of Warner Brothers for putting Henry Cavill in that situation. I think it's safe to say that they really did Henry Cavill wrong. Really, really wrong. I could get a whole rant about that a whole nother time, but right now, I really want to get my thoughts, and I feel I have to, because I personally do like Henry Cavill. I think he's a very good actor. I think he's a very charismatic actor, and the way he conducts himself in interviews and in the public, he seems like a decent person. And I like the fact he keeps himself in great shape. I think Henry Cavill was overall a good Superman. Granted, I know there's a website where people get to express their disdain towards his iteration of Superman, which I'm not entirely fond of, but it is what it is. I personally thought he was a good Superman. Not the best Superman, but a good enough Superman, in my opinion. What Zack Snyder basically told Henry Cavill is that I wanted to make your Superman. He wanted to make Henry Cavill Superman a new, fresh take on the character, where he was more humanized, grounded, and relatable. Which, from one perspective, I can say isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, that's not really who Superman is. While I'm not saying Superman isn't humanized, grounded, and relatable, he's more of a character that is meant to be inspirational, a character you want to get behind, a person you want to become, you want to be. But Zack Snyder, way he started off Henry Cavill, so it was like, I want to be flawed, I want him to be, more flawed, more humanized, more grounded, more relatable. Which, at the same time, isn't a bad thing. I don't think it's as bad as what a lot of people make it out to be. But at the same time, as I said before, it's not really what Superman is all about. But from that regard, I can respect Zack Snyder that he wanted to give the character a new, fresh, and potentially interesting take on the character. Do I think there were some cons to Henry Cavill's Superman? Yes, but I think there were, in all honesty, I thought there were a lot more pros to his character. First and foremost, he was very charismatic. He still had that Superman heart. He still had that Superman goodness where he wants to help people, where he wants to do the right thing, where he doesn't want to be, seen as a god and stuff like that. So in that regard, I give him a thumbs up for that regard. And plus, what I like about Henry Cavill is that, even though he didn't have the typical Clark Kent charm persona like Christopher Reeve did when he did his version of Superman in the original Superman quadrilogy that ran from the 1970s to the 1980s, he still came off a bit nerdy in his Clark Kent. And I like the fact when Lawrence Fishburne's Perry White said he couldn't understand why Lois Lane had a thing for nerds. That's something. But I liked the chemistry he had with Ben Affleck for the most part. I loved the chemistry he had with Diane Lane, who I thought was a brilliant Martha Kent. I obviously loved this chemistry between him and Amy Adams. I thought they were great together on screen. I thought Henry Cavill, in a lot of ways, did Superman, or at least his interpretation of the Man of Steel, for the most part, very, very well, despite the fact that to me and to other people, he really wasn't given the proper material to work with. I thought he was a good Superman. I thought for the most part he was a better Superman than Brandon Routh, and that's no disrespect to Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh did an admirable job as Superman, especially as his iteration of the character. But personally, I gotta say that Henry Cavill's Superman is a bit better. To me, Brandon Routh, while he was admirable as the Man of Steel, there were times I felt he was copying what Christopher Reeve did with the character, which isn't bad, but which is him following direction, but it still felt like he was trying to imitate Christopher Reeve, which to me is kind of not really original, but excuse me, which is not really that original and creative, but it is what it is. But I really like Henry Cavill's Superman. I also like, even though it's CGI visual special effects, I like the fact that he was willing to showcase how powerful his version of Superman was. Like the time where he fought Zod and his Kryptonian soldiers, that was pretty cool. I absolutely liked, and this to me is a proper saying that, he pretty much told Ben Affleck's Batman, if I wanted it, you'd be dead already. That to me, I wouldn't say is out of character. That is kind of like Superman basically saying, look, it's not like, I don't think that's like out of character. I know some people might say that's a bit out of character. But it's kind of the truth is like, Superman would basically tell someone, look, if I wanted to kill you, I would do it already. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not, Superman wouldn't just go for the kill automatically every single time. Did I hate the scene where he killed Michael Shannon's General Zod by stabbing his neck? No, but I didn't agree with it. I wasn't one of those Supermans like, what, Superman doesn't kill? Superman has never killed. He's killed before in the comics. Granted, he doesn't really do it as much nowadays, but he has occasionally killed in the comics. So people need to do their fucking research. Plus, he did kill Zod in Superman 2 with a smile on his face. Let's not forget that shit. But overall, if I was to give a grade of Henry Cavill Superman, I would probably give him a B+. That's not a bad grade. That's a very good grade. That's a very good grade if I were to say so myself. Obviously I'm giving Christopher Reeve the A+, Henry Cavill a B+, and then I'll probably give Brandon Routh a B-. If I was to really be brutally honest. But, so yeah, those are my thoughts on Henry Cavill Superman. I wish him nothing but the best of luck. And hopefully, hopefully more and more people give David Cornswet a shot as the Man of Steel. Which to me they should. Anyways, peace out.